review the SAT2 Math Level 2 Practice Problem 1. What's your answer for this problem?
D.
D, yes, that's correct. This one's correct. That's 7, yes. Then what's your answer for number 2?
C.
C, yes, that's correct. Okay. What's your answer for 3?
D.
D. Now let's see. Yes, that should be correct. Yes. Then what's your answer for number 4?
C.
Yes, 0.34. That's correct. Then now let's see number 5. What's your answer for number 5?
D.
Now let's say you choose D. They ask you what is the third term of asthmatic sequences?
I mean C.
Oh, you said C? Okay. Now let's see whose second term is 7. Second, that means A2. Suppose A2 equals 7 and A6 equals 23. Then they ask you, what is the third term? So you use A6 minus A2. Then you get, that will be 16. Then divided by 4, you get D will equals 4. So then that means A3 will equals A2 plus D. So equals 7 plus 4. That should be 11. That's D. Which one? Did you do this way?
Yeah.
So if you do this way, can you see where you said you get 12? You got a C? Say A6, that's 23. 23 minus A2, 7, you got 16. 16 divided by 4 give you, divided by 4, yes, give you the common difference, that's 4. Then they ask you the third term, right? Third term will equal second term plus the common difference. So 7 plus 4, the correct answer should be 11. D is correct. Okay, this one is correct. Okay, now let's go to number 6. What's your answer for number 6?
D.
Okay, you got it. In the xy plane, which of following equations represent a circle of the radius 5 center at origin? Very good, this is correct. That's correct. Now let's go to number 7. What's your answer for number 7?
B.
You got a B. Now let's see, which of following graphs is symmetric with respect to the x-axis? Yes, this is right. Now let's go to the next one. Number 8. What's your answer for number 8?
A.
You got A. Now let's see. For all real numbers A and B such that A squared minus B squared, A squared greater than B squared, which of following must be true? So A squared minus B squared greater than 0. Definitely this one's true. Then A greater than B doesn't. This one you cannot guarantee because A can be negative, B can be positive. So A times b squared greater than 0. This one also wrong. Yeah, you're right. A is correct. Now let's see number 9. What's your answer for number 9?
D.
You got the D. This one. What is the least positive integer n for which this one is not prime? So this one time this, you got a 25. Now let's check. Yeah, you're right. That's right. This one you got a 25. This is not prime. If you choose 3, you got 19. That's prime. N equals 2, 13 is prime. N equals 1, 7 also prime. Yeah, you're right. So now let's go to number 10. Okay, what's your answer for number 10?
C.
C? Okay, now let's see which of the points in the figure above satisfy the relation y greater than 2x squared minus 1. Now let's check C. C, x equals 1. 2, x squared will be 1. 2 times 1, that's 2, minus 1, get a 1. Y is 2. Yes, you're right. This one's correct. Now let's go to 11. What's your answer for 11?
C.
C. Okay, the senior class at North High designed a t-shirt as a class fundraiser. They had to pay $35 to set up the design and the total cost to make each. Finished the shirt was $7.5. They sold the shirt for $10 each. If X is the number of the shirts made and Y is the number of shirts sold, which of following conditions represent profit for the senior class? Now let's say 10 times Y minus 7.5 times X minus 35 greater than 0. Yes, you're right. Okay, so now let's see 12. What's the answer for 12?
D.
Okay, you got a D. This one, the function is y equals 3 power negative x plus 1. What value does y approach as x approach to infinity and large? Yes, then when x is approach to large, then the negative x will be negative infinity. 3 plus negative infinity will be the 0, then plus 1 equal to 1. This one's correct. Okay, now let's go to 13. What's the answer for 13?
D.
D. Okay, now let's check. They give you this angle theta, and they said this angle theta is between 70 degree and 80 degree. Then this which are following distance from the base of the lander L to the base of the building B would be considered safe for lander 21 feet long. 21 feet long times cosine 70 degree, another times 80 degree. Now let's calculate this. Then we can say 21 times cosine 70 degree. This one. 70 degree, you got 7.18. Then if 80 degree, now let's see. We got 3.64. Okay, now let's see your answer. Yeah, looks your answer is between this number. That's right. Yeah, D is correct. Very good. Now let's go to 14. What's your answer for 14?
E.
Which one?
E.
E, okay. For which of the following functions is there a value of x such that this equals negative 1,000? Okay. Negative, yes, you're right. See, this one will always greater than 0. This one is between negative 1 and positive 1. This one also greater equals 0. This one is also greater than 0. Only this one. Yes, you're right. Now let's see 15. What's the answer for 15?
A.
You got an A. Okay. Now box 1, box 2 each contain only red marbles and red and blue. The probability of selecting a red marble from box 1 is 2/3, and the probability to selecting a red marble from box 2, that's 3/8. If one marble is to be random selected from each box, what is the possibility that both marbles will be below? So choose blue from box 1, that will be 1/3. Choose the blue from box 2, that will be 5/8. Then you require both are blue, so then you time this together, you get a 5/24. Great, you're right. Okay, now let's see 16. What's the answer for 16?
B.
B or D?
B.
B, okay, B. The figure above shows that graph of the functions f and g. Okay, which of following is closest to the value of x such that fx minus f gx equals 0? Okay, one is -2, another is 3. Yes, you're right. This is correct. Now let's go to 17. What's your answer for 17?
D.
D. Okay. This one, a total of 500 tickets were sold for a school play, generating a total sales of $1,700 if the tickets cost $4 for adults and $2 for children. How many adult tickets were sold? So let's suppose that's X. That will be 4 times X plus that will be 500 minus x times 2. This one will give you 1,700. Then solve this equation first. Now both sides divided by 2. Got the 2x plus 500 minus x will equals 850. Then get x equals 350. Very good. Correct. Now let's see 18. What's the answer for 18?
B.
You got the B. Now let's see. If 3 is a root of this equation, then k equals what? K, now let's see how we can calculate this faster. if 3 is a root, okay? If 3 is a root, now let's see. We can take this common factor from x from here, get x power 4, max x power 3, minus 11x squared plus 21x minus 11. This one plus k will equals 0. Then you can calculate, now let's see. This one will be 81 minus 27 minus 99, then plus 63 minus 11. This one times 3. Now let's do this one. 81 minus from 99, that give you negative 18, right? Negative 18 plus negative 27, that will be negative 45. Negative 45 plus negative 11, you get negative 56. Minus from add 63, then you get 7, positive 7 times 3, 21, then negative 21. Yes, you're right. Very good. Now let's see, 19. What's the answer for 19?
A.
A, this one you got x equals log ln4. Now let's check ln4. ln4. This one equals 1.386. 1.386. So that's correct. Very good. Now let's see, 20. What's the answer for 20?
B.
B. Now let's see this. What does it ask you? They ask you what is the length of the diagonal CF? CF. They give you the solid, the counter of solid, that's 5, 6, 4. So that means you just do 5 squared plus 6 squared plus 4 squared, then square root. Right? So this, let's see. That will equals SQRT 25 plus 36 plus 16. Yes, you're right. That's equals 80.7749. Yeah, this one is correct. Now let's go to 21. What's the answer for 21?
A.
You got the A. For which of following equation is a product of its roots, not a negative number? So then they ask you what is the product of the roots is not negative. The solution, the roots for this equation, that will be 0 and negative 6. You multiply, they get their roots, that will be 0. So you're right. It's not negative number. Now let's see next one. 22. What's the answer for 22?
C.
C. That's it. In the right triangle ABC, sin C. This sin C equals 3 over 5, and AC equals 12. Then what is the length of BC? So from here, sin C equals 3 over 5. We need cosine C. Cosine C will equals 4 over 5. That will be, say, 9 9 plus 16, yes. Cosine C equals 4 over 5. Then you find a B, then you just need to use AC divided by cosine C. So that's equals 12 times 5 over 4. So you got this one equals 15. Yes, wonderful. That's correct. Okay, good. Now let's go to 23. What's your answer for 23? This one asks you, what's your domain of this? B. Okay, your answer is this one. All the real numbers except 0. So how about 5?
Wait, yeah, 5 doesn't work as well.
Yeah, 5 here, that's a whole. 5 is a whole. So that means if you draw the graph of this function when x equals 5, this function has no value there. Let's suppose this one is 5. So suppose this function is like this. In the 5, that has a whole, something like this. Then when x equals 0, this one also has a vertical, has a vertical asymptosis. So the correct answer for this one is E. Yeah, this one's correct. E is correct. Okay, be careful. I know you see x minus 5 will cancel out, but in the graph, that's a whole. Then that point also should not belong to domain. Okay, now let's see, 24. What's your answer for 24?
A.
You got the A. Say, for which of following does the property this one equals x hold for all of x? Okay, now let's say fx equals negative x. So fx, this one will equals f negative x, then they will equals x, because fx equals negative x will equals x. Yes, you're right. A is correct. Now let's see 25. What's your answer for 25?
B.
B for A. Now let's see. They give you this. They ask you find log 10x squared. Then you can write this one equals log 10 root x, then power 4. So this will 4 times log 10 root x. So this one you got the 4 times A. You're right. It's correct. Okay, good. Now let's see, 26. What's your answer for 26?
D.
You got a E.
D.
Oh, D. Okay, D. If a linear function such that f negative 1 equals 2.5 and f1 equals negative 3, what is the value of f4? So first, actually here they give you the 2 points. You can find the slope first. Slope, that will be negative 3 minus 2.5 divided by 1 minus negative 1. So you got this one equals negative 5.5 divided by 2. This is the slope. Then slope, there's a negative 2.75. Now we can get the equation for this line. That would be y minus 1 equals k times x minus, no, y, that will be this one minus negative 3, that will be plus 3, then x minus 1. So k equals negative 2.75 times x minus 1. Then from here, you try to find when x equals 4, you just get y will equals negative 2.75 times 3, then minus 3. So this one, you can take 3 out, negative 3 out, then you get 2.75 plus 1. That would be negative 3 times 3.75. This one looks like you're right. Yeah, it's, yeah, you're right. This one equals negative 11.25. Good. Now let's see 27. What's your answer for 27?
B.
B. This one. Now let's see. Fx equals this, gx equals this. Then when x is not equals negative 1, fx over gx. Fx over gx will equals x squared minus 1 over x plus 1. You get x minus 1. X minus 1, you can write this one as x plus 1, then minus 2. So this one give you gx minus gx. Oh, the one there is like this. Now you can write this. Now let's see. Oh, here. Yeah, this one equals x minus 1, right? Now let's try x, gx minus 2. This one equals x minus 2 plus 1. Then you got this one equals g minus 1. Yeah, you're right. This one equals dx minus 2. This one is right. Now let's see 28. What's the answer for 28?
C.
C. Now let's see, what is the period of the function f given by this one? Yes, that's right, because sin x period, that's 2 pi. When you take the absolute value, you put all the negative also to the positive, then the period will become half of original one. Divided by 2, you get pi. Yes, that's right. Now let's see, 29.
A.
This one you get the A. Now let's see. All of the value x, you have this, where A and B are constants. What is the value of A? Okay, say this one we write this as this, then you just expand it, then compare that value both sides. So when we expand this term, we get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Then plus a times x plus 2a plus b. Then merge these two like terms, get 4 plus a should equals 2. So a equals negative 2. Yes, a should equals negative 2. Now let's double check this. 2a plus b plus 4 equals 4. Yeah, so then you get a b will equals positive 4. Does not matter. We only need a. So that's your answer is right. Now let's see 30. What's your answer for 30?
D.
Now let's see. These two triangles, ABC and DEF, show above are similar if triangle ABC, you have sin B over sin A equals 3. Then triangle DEF, in triangle DEF, the nut of EF, this one equals what? Okay, now let's see. They give you saying B over saying A equals 3. Saying A, this saying B. So from triangle ABC, we can get 6 over saying B will equals BC over saying A. So then we can do saying B over saying A. This one will equals 6 over BC. Because saying B over saying A equals 3, so we can get BC equals 2. BC is 2. Then, because these two triangles are similar, then we can get 9 over 6 will equals
X over 2.
EF over 2. So from this one, we can get EF equals 9 times 2, then divided by 6. So you got this one, you get 3. Yes, you're right. Your answer is right. Very good. Now let's see, 31.
A.
You got A? Good. Now let's check. The graph of the function f and g are shown above. Which of the following is true? Gx is this one equals f negative x, absolute value of f negative x. Now let's see, f negative x, fx is this, then f negative x.
Swaps y-axis.
Yeah, swap about y-axis. That would be this one, then go this. But then go this way.
And then you absolute value it.
Oh, then take absolute value. Okay, go this way. Yeah, then this part go convert to top. Yes, yes, you're right. Yes, this one is right. Okay, now let's go to 32.
E.
What's the answer for 32?
E.
E, okay. What is the ratio of the volume of a sphere of the radius r to the volume of a sphere of radius 2r? Yeah, that's 1 over 8, because radius, suppose r1 over r2 equals 1 over 2, then volume v1 over v2 will equals r1 over r2 power 3. So this one equals 1 over 8. Yes, you're right. Now let's see 33. What's the answer? Okay, good. Now let's see C. In the xy plane, g is an inverse function of f, and 5, 0 is a point on the graph of fx. Which of following is point on the graph of gx? Yes, just switch x and y. This 5, 0, then 0, 5. You're right. Okay, good. Now let's see 34. What's your answer for 34?
D.
D. Okay, this one. Using data collected from several donuts shops, a linear regression was used to generate a model relating the price of dozen donuts P in dollars and the quality sold D in dollars of donuts. The resulting equation was D equals this one. What is the meaning of negative 26.97 in this model? Now let's see. P, that's price of dollars. P is price. D is quantity sold. So this price times a negative number plus this. Okay, now let's see. P decreases by this one for every $1 increase in when this increase in D. Yes, I think this one you're right. That's right. So if you draw the graph about the P and the D, we will like this. This is P. This is a D. Then when P equals 0, that's 300 something. The D is 300, so it's like this. This point, that's equals 342.8. Then this 0, 0. Then the equation is D equals negative 26.97 P plus 342.8. So that means when P decreases, let's say when P decreases by this for every $1, then D will increase. So yeah, when price go down, then your sales more. Yes. When the price go up, you sales less. Okay, very good. Now let's see. What's the answer for 35?
B.
B. Now let's see. In the XY plane, the circles with the equation this and this are external tangent. What's the value of R? Okay, so this one, the center of this circle, that's 3 and 0. The radius is √11. The center of this circle, that's -2 and 0. The radius is R. So that means if these two circles tangent outside to suppose something like this, then suppose this one is center of this circle, suppose that's 3, 0. This one is, I need to write this one is 3, 0. That another one will be, this one is -2, 0. Then I can draw the horizontal axis, something like this, right? Then the distance between these two centers, that will be 5, right? So then from this one, the radius of this one is √11. Then this one is R, so that means R plus √11 equals 5. So then we can write R equals 5 minus 11 √11. So you just calculate this. √11 is 3 point something, less than 4, but greater than 3. But this one we need to use a calculator to calculate. Let's see. That would be 5 minus SQRT 11. Yeah, 1.68. 1.6833. So the correct answer is C. Did you get a C?
No, wait.
So how you got your answer?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Double check. This one you should get it right. But just follow these steps from the center of these two circles. then you can find the distance between these two centers. Then the one radius of the circle is root 11. Another is r. You try to looking for r. So r plus root 11 should equals the distance between these two center. So just use the distance minus the root 11. You should get a 1.68 something. So the correct answer is C, 1.7.
Okay.
Good. Now let's see 36. What's your answer for 36?
A.
A. Now let's see. This is geometric sequences. So we can find the formula for this one. That's just first minus 1 minus the ratio. Also 1/5. We can calculate this one equals 1/5. This minus 4/5, then times 5/4. So cancel out, you got a 1/4. 1/4 plus 2. Your answer is correct. Very good. Now let's see 37. What's your answer for 37?
A.
A. This one. The maximum value of this one on the interval from -2 to +4 occurs at when? Okay. So this one, let's see. This is now let's see if we can factor in this. X equals -2. So x minus 4. Yeah, you can write x negative x cubed for this one because they allow you use a calculator. I suggest. So how you solve this problem?
I use a calculator.
Yeah, just use a calculator. Then that will save you a lot of times. Then you can see where they get the maximum value. Now let me draw this one. That will be equals -x power 3 plus 4x power 2, then minus 2x, then plus 2. Okay. Yes, then you go to this point. They ask you maximum value of x on the interval from -2 to +4. Yeah, that's x equals -2. It's keep go up. Right. Yeah, you're right. Your answer is right.
Nice.
Yeah, good. 38.
D.
E.
D.
Oh, D. Okay, now let's see this one. An equilateral triangle with perimeter of 6 has one vertex at the origin of the xy coordinate plane and one vertex on the positive x-axis. Which of following could be the coordinate of the third vertex of the triangle? Okay, this one you need to draw the Cartesian plane. Now let's see this. We have this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is the origin. Perimeter, that's 6. You have vertices, one vertex at the origin is here, and another vertex on the positive axis, suppose here, that's 2. Suppose this one, oh, this one's A. Then another point either here or here, right? Suppose that this one is B, and here probably that's B prime. I think these 2 points are all okay. You have this one. This will be a right triangle. You can also do this way. This also will be there. So now let's see the coordinate this one. You connect this. Yeah, this x coordinate will be 1. If x, this is 1, this is 2, then this will be root 3. So this, for this point, that will be 1 negative root 3. And at this point, that will be 1 positive root 3. So they only give you this choice. Yeah, that's right. Very good. Now let's see, 39.
D.
Okay, this one you got a D. Okay, this one. In the figure above, a portion of the graph of y equals fx is shown. What are the coordinates of y intersections of the graph of y equals fx plus 2? Okay, this is fx. So when x plus 2, they ask you what is the y intersection was. So this, in this function, we say the y coordinate that's equals 3, right? So if you try to find a y coordinate of this function it's original function shift to the left side 2 units. 2 units. The 1 unit is here, another unit. That would be 4, right? Yes. Yes, you're right. Shift 2 units. That will be this point on the y-axis. Yes, that will be 0, 4, right? Now let's see, 40. What's your answer for 40?
B.
B?
C.
Oh, C. Okay, now let's see, C. C. What is the average arithmetic mean of the first 125 positive integers? So that's from 1 to blah, blah, to 225, right? What is the average of the first 225 positive integer? So here you have 225 numbers. So the average, you can do, the average should be exactly this one plus this divided by 2, 113. If another way, if you try to do, you can add all these numbers together, right? This is the normal way to do this, plus 225, then divided by number of numbers. You have 225. Now let's see. This one we can do 1 plus 225 divided by 2, then times 225. Then later also you need to divided by 225. So the correct answer is 113. How you got to see?
I just divided 225 by 2.
No. You need to add the first number with the last number, then divided by 2. First number plus last number, then divided by 2. And also here you need to guarantee you have odd number of numbers here. That's you can use this formula. Otherwise, you need to add the middle two the nearest middle two numbers together divided by 2. Suppose you have 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. For this one, if you try to calculate the average, oh, this still works. You can use 1 plus 4 divided by 2, get 2.5. This one also works. 2 plus 3 divided by 2, 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just use the first number plus last number, then divided by 2. This gives you the correct answer. Okay. Now let's see, 41. What's your answer for 41?
D.
D. Now let's see. Here, n is a positive integer. N factorial is divisible by 9. N factorial divisible by 9. If and only if n is a multiple of 3. No. Say, I'll give you an example. Suppose n equals 3. N equals 3, n is multiple of itself. Then the n factorial, that's 3 factorial, this one will equal 3 times 2 times 1. This one will equal 6. How 6 divisible by 9? So, you know, this one, let's see. When n is greater or equal 6, definitely this one is works. Now let's see. N is a multiple of 9. If n is multiple of 9, definitely n factor divisible by 9. That's true. But when you go backwards, if this one divisible by 9, you cannot guarantee n is a multiple of 9. So correct answer is B. You know, when n is greater or equal 6, then n factorial, definitely this one is greater or equal 6, not 6 factorial.
Mm-hmm.
It's greater or equal 6, then n factorial definitely will at least should be 6 factorial. 6 factorial, you have a 6, then you have a 3 there. Right? Definitely this 6 factorial will divisible by 9. So this direction, statement, this direction, that's right. Now we need to check the statement of this direction if that's right. So for this direction, that means n factorial divisible by 9. Divisible by 9, that means, you know, the first we have in this factorial, we need to have a 3 there. Then we need to have another 3. So, but this is a factorial. So among the numbers, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one, you have 3. You have next number also have 3. That's number has to be 6. So then that means n has to be greater or equal 6. So correct answer is B. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Say this one, this is very important. If and only if and only if means when you use this condition, you can not only go right direction, you can also go back. So this one called equivalent, exactly say n greater or equal 6 with n factor divisible by 9. This is exactly equivalent. So that means when n greater or equal 6, you can get n factor divisible by 9. Or, not all, but half at the end from n factor divisible by 9, you can get n is greater or equal 6. you can guarantee these two statements are true. Otherwise, this is not if and only if.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is 41. Now let's see 42. What's the answer for 42?
C.
Now let's see. C. In this right triangle, right? What is the volume of the solid obtained by rotating the triangle in the figure above about the side XY? So if you rotate it this way, you get a chord, a coin. The radius of the base of the chord, that's 15. The height is 20. So you get a pi r squared. This is the area of the base, then times height 20, then divided by 3. You can get this. Then now let's see, calculate it. It will be simplified 15 times 5 times 20, then times pi. So this will be 100. Yes, you're right. Correct answer is C. Now let's see, 43. What's the answer for 43?
E.
Okay, now let's see, E. Okay, data set A, data set B. E, the box plots for data set A and data set B are shown above. Which of following statement must be true about A and B? At least 50% of the values in A are greater than 50% of the values in B. Now let's see, 50%. 50%. Yeah, this one's true. Now let's see, the standard deviation of A is greater than standard deviation of B. Yeah, this one also looks true. The standard deviation of A is greater than standard deviation of B. I think this one is, oh wait. This one is only from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot get this. No, probably this one not. Now let's see C. The range of A is less than the range of B. Yes, this one from 5 to 10. So that's 5. This range from 1 to 8, that's 7. Yes, you're right. 1 and 3 are right. So that's E. Yeah, right. So this B, the standard deviation, you cannot guarantee. Here, that's actually smaller than this. Okay, very good. Now let's see, 44.
B.
B. Now let's see, B. This angle greater than pi over 2, less than pi, and cosecant equals 2. What's a tangent? So from here, cosecant, that's 1 over sine theta. This one equals 2, that means sine theta equals 1/2. Sine theta equals 1/2 cosine theta, because cosine will equals negative √3 over 2, because this angle in the second quadrant. Then tangent theta will equals sine over cosine. So will equals 1/2 times negative 2 over √3. So we get negative 1 over √3. So that will be negative 0.5 7,000. Yeah, your answer is right. That's great. Now let's see, 45. What's the answer for 45? Tammy earned $32.5.
A.
You got A? Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's see. From babysitting and caring for pets, he earned $3.75 per hour babysitting and $2 per hour caring for pets. Which of following describes the number of hours worked babysitting as a function of the number of hours X worked carrying pets? Okay, now let's see. He earned $32.5. For babysitting, that's $3.75 an hour. For pets carrying, that's $2. As a function of number of hours worked carrying pets, they ask you to find which of following describes the number of hours worked babysitting as a function of the number of hours X worked carrying pets. Okay, so here, first we can write this equation. We can just write 3.75 times, suppose that's y. This y, that's for number of hours work for babysitting. Suppose this one is y. Then plus 2 times x. X is the number of hours for caring pets. This one gives us $32.5. Then we need to solve y from this equation. Get the negative 2x plus 32.5, then divided by 3.75. This gives us the number of hours worked for babysitting as a function for the number of hours worked for caring pets. So then this y, actually that's fx, equals negative 2x plus 32.5 over 3.75. So the correct answer is B. This one's correct. How you got this A? I think this problem first, you need to write this one, write this equation. That's a very easy to, this one is very easy to understand. This sentence, it's kind of difficult to understand. But after you get this, you solve y in terms of x. Then you go back and read this sentence, you understand what they ask you to do. They ask you define this y, it's fx, use this term of x. So correct answer is B. Okay, so next time when you see this problem, don't be confused by this very complex sentence. First, you still use math knowledge. You know about this problem. Just write down a very basic equation here. What's the relationship between the money he earned with number of hours he worked for both babysitting and pets carrying? Get this equation, that's not hard. Then you know they ask you represent this one in term of x, then you solve y in term of x. Then later you will understand this y actually that's fx. Okay, very good. Now let's see 46. What's your answer for 46?
D.
Okay, now let's see D. In this figure above, point A is on the circle x squared plus y squared equals 5. So that means this radius equals 5. 5 root 2. If point A has a coordinate, A has coordinate x and -1, what is the degree measure of angle theta? So this one, say definitely this angle is about 200 something now, but we need to calculate exactly what this one equals. So we can do first find what is the coordinate of x. You can set up equation that will be x squared plus -1 squared. This one equals 5, right? Then you can get x squared equals 4. Then x equals plus minus 2. Because this location here, x is negative. So get the x actually equals -2. Y equals -1. So then we can, you can write this saying will equals y over r, right? This one equals y equals -1. R, that's root 5. Cosine, that's equals x over r. X over r. So you get a cosine will equals -2 over root 5. So then you can use your calculator to calculate. Now let's see, to calculate this angle, see how big is that. Now let's see, saying negative arc, saying -1 divided by SQRT 5 degree. Okay, negative, if saying that would be got negative 26.565. That means here. Then actually that one we need to use 180 plus 26 or 26.56. 180 degree plus 26.56. So then you got a 206.6. So this one go here. Yes, your answer is right. Very good. Now let's see 47. What's your answer for 47?
E.
E. This one. Now let's see. If a point x, y is chosen at random from the set of the points where x greater equals -1 and less than or equals 1, and y is greater equals -1 and less than equals 1, what is the probability that the distance from the point xy to the origin is less than or equals 1? Okay, this is called geometric possibility problems. Now let's see, first draw this diagram. Now let's draw a square here. something is like this. Then now let's see here. This one, -1, +1, -1, +1. You choose any point P in this square, choose at random from the set of the points in this square. What is the possibility that distance from the point to the origin, distance from here to here, is less or equals 1? So that means you have a circle.
Yeah.
You have a circle, something like this. Then you calculate the area of this circle over the area of the square. So distance less or equals 1. So then get the area of this circle equals pi r squared, r equals 1. So area of this circle equals pi. Then area of this square equals each side, that's 2. 2 times 2. So you get a 4. So then they ask you the possibility. Possibility is between 0 and 1. So that means pi over 4. This one's correct answer. If you should not, definitely this one cannot be right. Any number greater than 1 or less or equal 0 cannot be answer. The possibility only is 0, 1. This is the range for possibility. When possibility equals 0, that means this event cannot happen, never happen. That's 0. When the when the possibility equals 1, that means this event definitely will happen. So that's 1. So when the possibility equals 0.5 or 1/2, that means this one either happen or not happen. The chance is equal. Suppose you threw a fair coin, you got the head or tail. That's possibility that will be equal. That's 1/2 for you got a head or you got a tail. Then any number less than 0, greater than 1 cannot be the possibility. So here they ask you what is the possibility for the distance from this point to the origin is less or equals 1. You get the circle area, that's pi. The area of this square, that's 4. So the possibility, that's pi divided by 4. So that's pi over 4. This one's the correct answer. Okay, so when you solve this problem, tell me how you solved this problem.
I guessed.
You guess. You should not guess. The geometry possibility actually is very easy. You say you just follow the step I show you here. It's very easy for you to get the answer because you know for this kind of possibility problem, just calculate the area of the geometric figure. Say the distance to the radius to the origin, that's actually asking you to calculate the area of this circle. Distance, that's 1. So that means they already give you this circle radius, that's 1. Then they give you the, say, x between -1 and the +1. Y is between -1 and +1. That means this one is a square. Sometimes maybe they give you this one, it's a rectangle. Does not matter what shape they give you. Definitely you need to try to find the area of that shape. Then they ask you you get the choice from this shape. Then later the possibility, just the ratio of these two shapes. This kind of problem actually is very easy. You should get them right. Next time, just follow this step. It's very easy to calculate. Okay, so now let's see next problem. 48. What's your answer for 48?
E.
E. Now let's see. Hx equals fgx, and hx here equals sin x, and fx equals cos x. Which of following could define the function g? Okay, now let's see. hx equals sin x, and hx also equals fgx. Then fx equals cos x. So then we can write hx equals cosine gx. hx also equals sin x. So then how we can define the gx? So here, now let's see. If now let's check if you define, how you define, let's see. Define gx. Define gx. You know sin x squared plus cosine x squared. This one equals 1. Then now let's see. From here, if you try just exact to, this one will equals arc cosine sin x. Gx you can define this way, but in the choices you don't have this. You don't have this. So now let's see which one we can get. So from hx equals sin x, we can get, oh, here, hx, fx. So we can get hx squared plus fx squared. This one equals sin x squared plus cosine x squared will equals 1, right? So that means fx, we can write fx equals 1 minus hx squared, then square root. So this one equals 1 minus sin x squared, then square root. This will give you the fx, give you the cosine x, right? Now, yes. So that means we can write, yeah, we can do the opposite. We can write sin x will, this one will equals 1 minus cosine x squared, then root 2. So that means we can write this cosine gx equals 1 minus cosine x squared, then square root. Now let's see. Which of following could be defined the function g? Now say if you said gx equals tangent x, tangent x, that will be sin x over cosine x. Then now let's see hx, that's f gx, fx, that's cosine x. So f gx, that will be cosine gx. This one equals cosine gx. This one equals hx. hx equals sin x. So from this, we can get this one equals this. Then what is gx? Cosine gx equals sin x. Cosine gx equals sin x. So then what is the sin gx?
Sine squared.
Sin gx will equals
Sine squared over cosine.
1 minus, say 1 minus cosine gx, this one squared and square root. So this one equals 1 minus sin actually equals sin x squared and square root. So got this one will equals cosine x. So cosine gx equals sin x. Sin gx will equals cosine x. So then what should be gx?
Gx is cosine.
Gx, now let's see. See, from here we got a cosine gx equals sin x. Then see here, actually gx will equals pi over 2 minus x. See, when the gx equals pi over 2 minus x, then cosine pi over 2 minus x will equal sin x, right? And we also got here. Yeah, actually, now let me write clearly. So first, you have hx equals f gx. Then hx equals sin x. And fx equals cosine x. Then based on this, we can get cosine, this one will equals f gx, this one will equals cosine gx, right? This one equals this, cosine gx. Then f gx equals hx, this one also equals hx. hx also equals sin x. So then that means we get first cosine gx, this one equals sin x. Now, what is the sin gx? Sin gx, based on the formula, that will equals 1 minus cosine gx square, then square root, right? And then, this one square, sin gx square plus cosine gx square equals 1. So that means sin gx equals 1 minus cosine gx square root. So then we, from here, we got this one equals sin x. So plug this one, you use sin x represent. That's sin x squared, then square root. Then you simplify, you got this one equals cosine x. So finally, we got two equation. One is cosine gx. This one equals sin x. Another is sin gx equals cosine x, right? Now you need to think, what is gx? So you check this one. When you plug gx equals pi over 2 minus x here, then say plug to the first one, you got a cosine pi over 2 minus x This one, you know, this one equals sin x, right? This one, right? Now, sin pi over 2 minus x. You got this one also equals cosine x, right? So then say gx equals pi over 2 minus x satisfy these two equations. So that means correct answer is D. Got it? This one, it's think about this one is difficult. When you, it's easy for you to get this equation. If you don't try to get the same gx, you can just check probably one by one to here. Probably you also can get this answer right. But that's, you still have some uncertainty there. But after I got this, sin gx equals cosine x, I immediately know the answer is this one. Because say, cosine a function equals sin x, sin function. The sin function equals a cosine function. So that means only this one satisfies that requirement, no others. Pi over 2 minus x will switch between the sin and cosine. So when you get this one, then you have these two equations, then you know the answer for this one immediately equals D. But you can also, if you cannot get this one's kind of hard. You can also use this first equation here, then try to plug which one in each one into this equation. It's also you can get this answer. Okay, very good. Now let's see 49. What's your answer for 49?
B.
B. Now let's see this. Two numbers have a sum of 10 and a product of 20. What is the sum of the reciprocal of these two numbers? Suppose these two numbers is x and y. So x plus y equals 10. Then product of x, y equals 20. Then they ask you what is the sum of reciprocal of these two numbers. They ask you this. It's very easy. Just x plus y over x times y. So this one equals 10 over 20 equals 1/2. How you gonna be? Say, you suppose these two numbers are x and y. Sum of these two numbers equals 10. Product of these two numbers equals 20. Then they ask you what is the sum of the receptacles of these two numbers. That's 1 over x plus 1 over y. Then you just simplify this one as x plus y over x times y. You already know x plus y equals 10. X times y equals 20. So this ratio equals 1/2. The correct answer is A. So this kind of problem actually is very easy. But don't be scared. Maybe you think the last two problem is harder. Actually, just follow the problem described, then write down equation, then say what did they ask you. Don't try to solve this equation. When you simplify this, say you already get what all you want. You don't need to solve this equation to find x and y. That's very easy. Now 50. What's your answer for 50?
B.
B. Okay, this one, say a paragram has a set of length 50 centimeters and 75 centimeters. If the smaller angle of the paragram measures 45 degrees, what is the length of the shorter diagram to the nearest centimeter. So now let's draw a parallelogram. Okay, something like this. Then suppose this one's A, B, C, D. Suppose this angle equals 45 degrees. Then the one side equals 50. Suppose this one's 50, this 75. Then they ask you what is a shorter diagonal. So shorter diagonal, that would be AC, AC, this one. They ask you this. So this one, it's very easy. Just use a cosine formula. That's 50 square plus 75 square minus 2 times 50 times 75 times cosine 45 degree. So then now let's see, you just calculate this. Now let's see what that's correct. This one will be SQRT 2500 plus 75 square minus 7500 times cosine just times SQRT 2 divided by 2. Okay, 53.119 something. So correct answer is 56. Very good. So your answer is right. So I think now you almost can get the perfect score. You do a very good job. So you said you take the test on the October?
Mm-hmm.
October. Which day of October?
October 3rd. So it's like
October
this
3rd. October 3rd. Wow. So
yeah.
you have oh, so that means in a few days, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we still have about 25 minutes. I can give you the some summary of the knowledges you need to use in this test.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, that will be very good. Now let's see. This is all 10 October 10/3. So first, I want to let you know, don't be stuck in any problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know the time it's only 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
You have so many problems. If you feel a problem is hard, just skip.
Okay.
Skip.